We're doing college football player props here on PrizePicks for Saturday, September 2nd. Before I get started, you guys, check out the WAP link in the description below. It's the top of the description. You can join our premium Discord here, $9.30 per month. Again, before I post all the plays I'm making on PrizePicks, we have some other premium cappers in there that post all of their plays. Again, check out the community tab on my YouTube channel. You can see how we've been doing very profitable as of late in the premium Discord. Super supportive community as well. We're at like almost 160 members in there, so go ahead and check out that link in the description below this video. Again, I'm not a gambling expert. This is not financial advice. It's simply just plays I'm personally looking at making. Hopefully give you guys some insight and analysis to then make your own player prop decisions here. But let's get into it, you guys. I got two plays from the same team. It's a stack. I don't usually stack props on PrizePicks, but both these two correlate pretty nicely, so I'm going to be playing them. And then a third player prop as well. So 3 total player props. Normally I give 2. But for this video, I'm going to give 3 total, as it is week 1 of the college football season. And then this time next week, we'll have NFL, which is just a super exciting time right now, you guys. Just in the space, the DFS space, player prop betting space. It's a super exciting time. So drop a like on this video, you guys, and hit that subscribe button because I do drop content like this. And I'm going to continue to drop content like this all season long. So let's get into it. So the first play I like is going to be Spencer Rattler, over 19.5 fantasy now. I know Spencer Rattler has his haters and people that don't really like him, but you have to give him some credit transferring from Oklahoma or taking his starting spot away by Caleb Williams, sits out, transfers to South Carolina. Last year was his first year in South Carolina, and you can see the progression he made throughout the year. If you follow college football, you could have seen the progression he made throughout the year here. But taking a look at Spencer Rattler, ending the season, he cleared this line in 4 of his last 5 games at the end of last season. 20, 45, 25, and 19 were his 4 overs here. But taking a look at this matchup, I just love this game environment and game kind of script here for Spencer Rattler and South Carolina. So for this game here, we're looking at South Carolina versus North Carolina, I believe. Yes, that's who they're playing, if I can find this game. So South versus North Carolina, matchup of the Carolinas. You can see here, 4:30 p.m. This is on national TV. This is a road game for South Carolina. Not that really matters in my opinion. Or actually, I don't even think it's a home game for North Carolina either. I think it's just a neutral site game here in Charlotte. So it should be a crazy environment, but a 63.5 over/under for this game, with North Carolina being 2.5-point favorites. So it should be an absolute shootout in this matchup here. 63.5 over/under. Definitely one of the higher over/unders on the day. I mean, Nevada USC is at 66, but a 38-point spread. Definitely, you can see, some of these spreads, Arkansas State, Oklahoma, 58, but a 36-point spread. TCU, Colorado, 63, but a 20.5-point spread. So when a blowout like this, with a super high over/under in a close line, it's just, really telling us this is going to be an absolute shootout, and I'm expecting it to be that. So 63.5 over/under. An absolute elite game environment here for Spencer Rattler. So we take a look at Spencer Rattler doing a little bit of a deep dive here. You can see here, he started the season slow, and I think, those first 8-9 weeks of the season, he was having difficulty just, I think, acclimating to a new team, brand new environment here. And he didn't have horrible games. He was throwing a lot of picks, right? I think it was he was getting hated on a little more than he should have, given like South Carolina wasn't that good of a team. Obviously earlier in the year, brand new head coach as well. So a brand new head coach, brand new quarterback, putting an entire new system into an offense. Now you can see here, those last 4 weeks of the season, take away this Florida game, but really his last 3 weeks. He had the 45-point game against Tennessee, 25 against Clemson, which were 2 upsets, by the way. South Carolina won both those games, and then had 19.5 against Notre Dame. So taking a bigger look at this, we take a look at this game environment, and North Carolina was absolutely horrible on defense last season, like absolutely horrible. If this will get out of my way, we take a look at North Carolina. They gave up in the ACC. They gave up the most total yards of offense in the ACC last season, as well as the most yards per game, and just overall the most points per game in the ACC. So they were absolutely horrible on defense. They are a good offense, obviously led by Drake May. They were second in the ACC in total yards, and then second in passing yards and in points. They were third. So a great offense, horrible defense. A terrific matchup here for Spencer Rattler. He's currently on DraftKings. Let's see what his odds are. I think I saw his odds. Sorry, I'm doing this live here for you guys in one take. So just bear with me. Let's see, I saw Spencer Rattler. So he's minus 175 to go over 1.5 passing touchdowns. Minus 175, I can see him easily getting 3-4 plus in this game. Should be an absolute ton of offense, you guys. We take a look at something as well that I find interesting. Georgia was -5 defensive TARP. So the TARP is kind of a, you can see your transfer portal assets and returning production. So just the overall amount of production that a team loses. And South Carolina was one of the most, -5. So they lost a ton of defensive production on the defensive side of the ball, which even goes to show that I think even more so this game will be an absolute shootout. So Spencer Rattler at 19.5 fantasy score is the first play. And then, like I said, looking to stack this here with another player in this same game on South Carolina, and it's gonna be Antoine Wells at over 12.5. So we look at Antoine Wells here, and all those big games from Spencer Rattler, Wells went crazy as well. So we take a look at this. 3 of his last 4 games, he's gone over this line. And just take a look at this tweet here specifically, which is what really is intriguing to me. You can see here, college football upset of the day. This is back here. This is from August 24th, obviously this tweet, but Tennessee at South Carolina. Spencer Rattler threw for 438 yards and 6 touchdowns, while Juice Wells, which he goes by Juice, added 11 catches, 177 yards, and a touchdown. South Carolina ran over Tennessee 63-38, eliminating the Volunteers from the playoffs. Spencer Rattler is quoted in saying, "That was probably the best I've ever felt. I felt unstoppable," adding he thought it was one of the best wins in college football history. So 63-38, I'm not saying that's going to be the total score of this South Carolina game, but this has the makings of an absolute shootout, you guys. And taking a look at Antoine Wells, he transferred to South Carolina. Last year was his first year there as well. Before that, he had a James Madison, I believe, or JMU. He had a terrific season in 2021 on a completely different team. 1,200 yards and 15 touchdowns is what he had in 2021. Look at his fantasy score totals. Look at how many times he went over 12.5 in that season with JMU, obviously in a much weaker conference, much weaker division of football, but had an absolute crazy year there. We take a look at last season, first season with South Carolina. He actually only went over this line 5 times, but those lines correlate to specifically to Spencer Rattler. 25.9 against Vandy, 29.5 against Tennessee, and 29.6 against Clemson. An absolute elite game environment, you guys. Again here, I like Antoine Wells here to 12.5 over fantasy. I think it correlates well to Spencer Rattler. And then the third play here is going to be a quarterback play. It's going to be Michael Penix Jr., quarterback for Washington. And I like this play for a few reasons as well. Sorry if this video is a little long, but I'm just trying to get all this information here into you guys. So taking a look at Michael Penix Jr., just right off the bat, right? His line's at 306.5, and over on FanDuel, he is at 318. So if you're watching this video and you see it at 306, it's a 12-point discrepancy from what he's listed at on FanDuel. And Michael Penix Jr. last season, he went over this line in all but 3 games. He literally had 309, 311, 337, 345, 345, 374, 397, 408, 485, and 516 passing yards. So he went over this line last year in 10 of 13 games, 298 against Oregon State. I mean, some of these games it was a blowout. Like, he only played 62 snaps here against Colorado and still finished with 229. And this matchup with Boise State should be a close one. Like, that's the only thing I would be worried about with Michael Penix Jr. line at 306 is a potential blowout. But, I mean, Boise State's a pretty good team. They're the favorites to win their conference, and it's only a 14-point spread, 585 over-under. Boise State has a good quarterback. I think there's a lot of things to like about Boise State. So I just think on volume alone, this line's too low for Michael Penix Jr. here. I mean, take a look at this article. No one stopped UW offense in 2022, and not much to change. With a few lineup tweaks, the Huskies should be even more prolific. They have two of the top wide receivers in the country, in my opinion, on Dunze and McMillan. All right, if we just take a look at Washington, like, look at some of these. Like, McMillan is at 16.5 fantasy score. Dunze is at 17.5 fantasy score. So that's 2 wideouts with fantasy score lines above 16.5. So it's like, for Michael Penix Jr. at 306.5 just seems a little bit too low. They don't really like to run the ball too much, right? They're obviously a pass-first type of team. So you can see here, last year we didn't even scratch the surface. Our potential is unmatched. I feel like nothing can stop us. This is what McMillan told Sports Analytic Group. Just overall, I think a lot of people here, You can see here UW scored on 85 of 143 drives, a 60% success rate with the ball in its hands. They outgained every opponent in total offense except 2. UCLA outdid them in yards, 499 to 410, and Oregon had 592 to 522. So it's an absolute elite electric offense here. And just with the line discrepancy at FanDuel, 318.5 for Penix Jr. He's on PrizePicks currently at 306. I could see this bumping. I did see it at 310. Dropped down to 306, so I'm smashing the over on it here. But yeah, I just think Boise State, they're pretty good. Honestly, they're actually, for a Mountain West team, they're very good. You can see how they did last season. They won their bowl game. I think they went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 10 and 4, or 10 and 4 last year. So they had a great season. So I think they'll be able to stay in this game, and I think Penix Jr. should. I mean, you could take a look at this last year. Just the pass attempts. Pass attempts were absolutely crazy. I mean, he threw 337 yards on 27 pass attempts. So I just think if the pass attempts are there, this should be an easy over for Michael Penix on Saturday. So here are the 3 plays for this YouTube video, you guys. Sorry if this video dragged on a little bit longer, but let me know in the comments below how you feel about these plays. Please drop a like. You guys hit that subscribe button. Uploading content like this all the time. And as always, let's cash.